Right, so we are back at my sister's flat. We have got a full weekend here, and the main jobs that we're going to do, I'm going to show you now. She's been doing some more painting this week, and we are now on to looking at the kitchen. So I will show you that. So far what I managed to finish off last week is I just put the legs on and we temporarily put it in place. As you can see, it's a mess. I'm going to move all of these doors and end panels out. When we put the kitchen in the original position, it was actually really close to the door. So what we have done is we have opted for a smaller door on this corner cabinet, which has shifted that over 100mm. So we've gone from a 500mm door to a 400mm door. Today, what I am looking to do is I'm going to take as much of this stuff out, move the cupboards out. We need to put the plumbing in for the dishwasher that's underneath all of that stuff there. We need to put the waste in, the water feed in. We need to drill out the back of that cabinet so we can access the mains water and shut it off whenever's needed. Also, I want to bring through the pipe work for the sink waste and the hot and cold feed. Also come into the bedroom. We've laid the mattress down. This is where the bed is going to go. So one of my jobs for this weekend, because she wants to move in about 10 days time, is I need to get the skirting board that's there fitted and caulked around there so that it can be painted during this week, and her new bed is being delivered the end of next week. So I need to make sure that that's ready and painted so that the bed can come in and get put up straight away, mattress can go on it. We'll move all of this skirting board over to here, and as you can see, we've got a couple of pieces that we've already cut. They're not fitted, they're just rested in, and we'll work our way around it. But let's see how we get on. Okay, so we have created a little bit of room for ourselves, so I thought I would show you exactly what we're going to do. If I take a seat here, this is the hot water feed from the boiler. So what I want to do is I want to take that across and then up, so it's coming out at roughly the same place where the mains water is. Also need to turn the mains off and then run a pipe all the way around to behind this cupboard. As you can see, I've marked on the wall waste and water. There's no real marking or anything there. I've literally just written that on the wall because I would like the water connection and the appliance waste to sit behind this cupboard rather than sitting behind the dishwasher itself, because there's not a lot of room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this hot water feed first up and then turn off the mains. I need to do a little T and then a 90. The T will then go across there, the straight bit 90 come in the back of the other corner cupboard, which is where the sink's going to be. So I'll show you once I've done a bit of that. Okay, so you can see what I have done so far. I have extended this pipe along, run it up next to the mains. If you remember, this is the hot, this is the cold. I've now pinged my laser across the center of this T, so I just sweated off the 90 that was there, took that off, and then now we need to make sure that this level goes all the way around to here, which will sit behind the cupboard that is here, and we'll be able to pull the water feed from behind the dishwasher, and the drain will also go here. So now it's time to run this pipe. I'm going to add a couple of plastic brackets across there to hold it into position, similar to what I've done here. So this one, that's it, held in position. The one that was on there before was about 25 years old and it wasn't actually screwed to the wall, it just had a clip on it that just leant against the wall. So we've now got that fixed in, so that's not going anywhere. Shouldn't get any kind of knocking on pipes and stuff like that. And yeah, we'll run across. Then these will cut down. We'll have 90s coming into the back of the cupboard for the sink, hot and cold. And yeah, let's get cracking with that. Right, so as you can see, I've put 4 pipe clips on the wall. I've bent a 90 over in that corner so that there's one less soldered joint for potential leaks further down the line. Connected it to the T over here. So this pipe now is ready to be soldered at the T junction. And then I can cut off and do the 90s coming into the back of the cupboard. And then we can start to do the waste pipes for the dishwasher and the sink. Let's go. Right, so as you can see, hot pipe is in, mains is there, both capped off. If you're ever working on plumbing, I highly recommend getting some speed fit stop ends. This is what a lot of plumbers use, I think. They literally just slide on and then you can just push them off from behind, but they will hold all of the mains pressure. Mains is turned on at the moment. Just checking around. There doesn't look like there's any leaks or anything like that. So now we will look at going to pipe the waste for the sink, which is here, and then we'll be drilling a hole in the corner. I'll turn that around. Hole in the corner here for doing the appliance waste. And yeah, they're really simple. It's just 40mm solvent weld plastic pipe. This one obviously will just push through the wall, and then we'll do the fittings outside, and we'll just leave it longer, same as we've left these longer, so that they will poke through the back of the cupboard. And yeah, this one will be finish plumbed because this will be hidden behind a cupboard. So let's get started on that. Right, so we have made some good progress. We have got the new socket in here, trunk in for the dishwasher. We have got the mains water feed here. We have got the appliance waste. As you can see, cored that out as close to the corner as I possibly could. Waste is poking through for the sink in the original hole that it was in. And hot and cold is done. Mains pressure is there. If we look outside, we did get a bit lucky here. Look at that. But no, that's in 90 down to there, another 90 there, down to 135 degree there, 135 there, up 90 in, fixed on a bracket, not going anywhere. And now it is time to put away all of the plumbing tools like the torch and everything, organise myself again, and then we will now start to look at fitting these 2 cupboards in here, as everything else on to the right hand side will then be based off of them. So let's give that a go. We have made some progress. So this cupboard is the sink cupboard. So as you can see, I've cut the mains out, the waste in the original position that it was, the hot and cold feeds there. This cupboard I have cut out the side so that we can get the dishwasher waste, the electric through there. I've marked on a square there which will give us access to the waste and the socket and everything like that, so you won't see it because it'll be inside the cupboard, and we can always cover it with a access panel at some point down the line if we want to. Let's get that cut out, and we need to start by fixing on that corner post onto here and go from there. But yeah, so with regards to how did I know where to do the holes for this, literally all I do is push the cupboard back. You can see here that the waste was the one furthest from the wall, so I put that against the back of the cupboard. I measured from here to here, and then from here to here, made sure that it was square to the wall and that it was the right width apart from here so that our filler piece would come in. Literally leant over the back, drew round it with a permanent marker. Once I did that one, I then pushed it on and back till it hit the hot and cold. Again, drew round them. You can see that there's a little bit of a permanent marker on the edge there. Drew round them, cut them with a nice decent sized hole bit. Finally got down to that one, and I just marked that where the centre of the tap was. I just marked that roughly on behind the cupboard and just drilled through. That's the same size hole as that one. Yeah, it's exactly that. Just keep pushing it back one by one. You can see cut out a bit for the copper pipe that goes round to the dishwasher feed. It is literally as easy as that. You don't have to overcomplicate. And what we've also done is I've pretty much leveled these two, so they are where the heights that they need to be. There is about a 15mm run out, as you can see. If you look, this one is just on the top of that cupboard, and by the time we get round to here, that's where it is. So what we have done is we will have to scribe in our plinths, because we don't want this one sitting far too high and then this one sitting just right. I'd rather have this one sitting 5mm higher than the plinth, 7mm higher than the actual plinth. And then by the time we get round to here, I can just scribe the plinth in and you'll have no idea. But you need to make sure that the kitchen is completely level, otherwise you're going to be putting stuff on and it's going to be rolling uphill, downhill, everywhere. But let's cut out the access panel on that. Just going to use my jigsaw and then we'll see how that looks after. So still looking like a mess at the moment, but we have been making progress. So that is the access hatch that I've made there for the mains, the socket and the drain. I've also moved this center post. So when you get the 1000mm wide cabinet, corner cabinet, straight cabinet, you can use them for both. The center post comes here for a 500mm wide door. We have opted for a 400mm wide door. So what you have to do is you unscrew this from the top. There's another one right at the bottom. Unscrew them, pull the top out first and then lift out, because there's a short dowel on the bottom of it. And then these holes are pre-drilled. And what you do is you just drill the rest through. 7mm hole at the top, 7mm hole at the bottom at the front, and then the back hole for the dowel is an 8mm hole. So just make sure that you do that, otherwise the dowel won't go in the hole. And then I don't have a door here, so what I've done is I've measured 400mm across, clamped in this corner fillet piece, and this is probably one of the most important parts of putting the kitchen together. Put that on, make sure it's plumb. Round the back, I'll try and show you around there. You can see that I've fitted it with these two brackets, top and bottom, and that's what holds that in. So now what we'll do is we'll look to push that cabinet back, because I don't need to cut any more out, I don't believe. Take the clamps off now that we've screwed the corner bit on, and now we need to line that corner piece up with the corner of this cabinet, because this door that will go here will go next to that and it will go all the way around. Let's put these cabinets back and see how it fits. So this is what we have done so far. That cupboard in fitted, that cupboard in fitted, dishwasher raised up into position, all plumbed in and wired in behind there. Then we got to these two cupboards and I thought what you do is you take out the top part. Obviously that's dependent on what your oven is, but this Bosch oven needed 600mm, which was the whole of this to come out. So I just cut it down the middle. It's not glued in or anything like that, it's just got two dowels. So cut it down the middle and pull it out. I then decided, right, I'm here, I'm going to test fit this oven, and it was all going so well until it wasn't, because if we look at the back, it's touching the sockets and it still needs to go back about 3 or 4mm, and there's no way that you would be able to plug anything in there So tomorrow morning, because it's now about 4:30, I got here at 8 o'clock this morning, so I've had about 8.5 hours. We need to try and move these sockets. Potentially we'll move them behind this cupboard, and we'll take the drawers out, and then the switches will be behind the drawers, because these drawers should just lift out. And hopefully, I'm very hopeful that there is enough slack left on them cables that we can do it. And what we'll have to do is put a new wire from there to the other socket, because that will now be too short, because we need to move it about 300-400 millimeters across. But yeah, not bad for a day's work. It looks like an absolute tip in here because I've just been cracking on. But tomorrow I will get that one sorted, get the wiring done, and get these ones screwed to the wall as well. Get the dishwasher screwed to this cupboard and that cupboard so that can't move. And I don't know whether I'll get a chance to do doors because, like I said earlier, I still need to put the skirting board on here for her bed. So the doors may end up being an evening next week, but yeah, we'll see how we can get on tomorrow. But thanks for watching.